The meeting is now being live streamed.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. I got to go over and make sure it's actually showing up. Looks like it is.
Oh, good.
Hi, everybody. I'm here with Gabrielle Juliano-Villani. Did I say it wrong? Valiani?
It's a long one. It's okay.
It's a long one. Anyway, I wanted to bring her in, introduce you guys to her because we are doing a live webinar on October 18th, and it's about don't panic, how to survive a rigorous insurance audit. So I wanted to bring Gabby in just to talk to you guys about the webinar, let you know what it's all about, what to expect, see if you have questions. And I'll turn it over to you, Gabby, if you want to introduce yourself and kind of maybe like let everybody know like why you're like extremely qualified to teach this webinar.
Sure.
Yeah.
So hi, I'm Gabrielle or Gabby or Gabs, whatever you want to call me. And I am a social worker. I started my career, my first job out of grad school was in child protective services. So that is kind of where the documentation expertise started because it became part of clients' files and it was really, really serious. And our treatment plans were court ordered, so they had to be on point. And then after that, when I got burnt out doing that, I know that's really surprising.
Yeah. My God.
I know it's like another lifetime. That's a different training.
Oh, yeah.
I moved on to working for Humana, the insurance company, and I was an in-home care manager for them. And I worked with their Medicare Advantage people. And I did in-home visits with them, and I did care management, but I also kind of did like some brief therapy, some things like that. And we were also really strict about documentation with that because Medicare has something called HEDIS and all sorts of other documentation stuff that needed to be done. So we were very strict there about our Medicare documentation requirements for those clients. And then I went into private practice, and in private practice, I also did in-home visits. And I worked for, let me think, 2018 for like almost 3 years, almost exclusively with Medicare clients. And so again, had to be very on top of what my documentation looked like. And then we started accepting Medicaid in Colorado. And we were a group practice at this point. So I was also managing a lot of clinicians underneath me and making sure that all of us had our documentation up to what the standards needed to be. So I have lots of experience
Yeah.
with what this needs to look like, just from not everything I just explained, but I was also audited by Medicaid last year. And we passed. Yeah.
That's amazing to me. Like that terrifies me, first of all, because I mean, I'm excited to take this webinar. I know I'm like participating, but just because I'm like really worried my stuff's not up to par. So I'm super excited to just learn from somebody that went through a Medicaid audit.
Yes.
Like a big one, like for their entire group practice, you know?
Yes. So and that's why I want to share it with people, because I feel like there's a lot of kind of like unknowns and maybe some gatekeeping about this, but it's important to me that all of us therapists understand what's going on. And I want you to know what it was like. And so that's why I want to share everything that I learned so that if you ever do get audited, your shit is on point and you don't have to worry about it. All you have to do is click data export and send an email to somebody and not stress.
Yes. That's what I love about it. Cause you know, you get the audit letter, right? Cause I've had a few and it's like, oh shit, like total panic, you know? At least for me, not for you probably, because you're like, I know I'm on point, but you know, I mean, it's a big deal when you get that letter because you don't really think it's going to happen to you. And then, you know, we hear the horror stories about, oh my God, I had to pay $100,000 back in Medicaid payments or commercial insurance payer payments. And it's terrifying, really, you know? So that was what prompted me actually to ask you to do this for my audience to do this webinar, because I feel strongly about it too. It's like, you don't want to have that panic take you over when you get that letter. You want to be able to just say, boom. And, you know, I think I'm okay but still, I've got this little doubt. Like, I can't wait to hear everything you say in this because, I feel like I need to go just revamp some things.
Well, I'm excited to share it with you and with your audience and everybody that's going to be there because I mean, I think even when you're prepared, it's still scary. Like I know when the Medicaid audit came, like a lot of other people in the community had been posting in our Facebook group about it. And I was like, oh my God, like, am I next? Is it coming?
Oh
And
my
then it
gosh.
came and it was terrifying.
Wow.
But I had everything I needed. And really, that's all I had to do was hit data export in simple practice. I had everything together. It took me like an hour. They audited, I think, 10 or 15 charts.
Wow.
And I emailed it to them and we passed.
Amazing.
So that's why I'm just going to go through everything with you guys. It's going to be super easy, not overwhelming. I'm just going to say, like, this is what you need to know. This is what your notes should look like and make it easy.
Yeah. So walk us through what all will be in the training, just in case people are wondering exactly what you're going to cover.
Sure. So I am going to talk about things from the beginning to the end as much as I
Okay.
can in 90 minutes. So we have a lot of ground to cover. And so we are going to talk about the assessment, what that should be in your assessment, what questions you should be asking your clients, how to easily start to put together a treatment plan. I'm going to show you how I use Wiley treatment planners to make them Medicaid compliant because they're not, as are. So I'm going to show you an easy way to just make it Medicaid compliant. That only takes me a couple of minutes. And again, questions you can ask your client to start making the treatment plan much easier from the beginning. And then I'm going to talk about our progress notes and what those need to look like and how to show the golden thread, what should be in your note, how to document medical necessity, which is super important and needs to be in every note. And then I am also going to go over my note template. And this is the template that I have been using. It's the one that passed the Medicaid audit. It's very easy. You do have to write a little bit, but it's mostly check boxes. And it has me doing my notes in like literally 2 minutes, if that.
Wow. I want to see that because I do a similar thing and I like do it concurrently in session. So I'm done with everything at the end of the session, but I'm interested to see yours to see like what I'm missing in my note, that's super exciting. Yeah. And to know it passed, like it's guaranteed, it's verified that it's going to pass a Medicaid audit. And, even if you're not a Medicaid provider, if it passed Medicaid, it's going to pass any commercial insurance because Medicaid is a lot stricter than like the commercial insurance carriers are.
So that's why, like, even if you don't accept Medicaid, it's still helpful because Medicaid is the strictest. So if it can, like you said, if it's going to pass that, it'll pass anything for commercial insurers. And for my group, I just had it across the board consistent. Like, this is how we do treatment plans and this is how we do our notes to Medicaid standards because it'll pass anything.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to it. And then at the end, we're going to answer some questions like live Q&A. If anybody's got any, in the training, we're going to try to cover as much as we can in 90 minutes.
Yes, we will get through as much as we can, but I think we'll have a good amount of time to get through what we need to get through.
Yeah, I'm super excited about this. So we wanted to hop in here, invite you guys. Hope you'll check it out. I've dropped the link here and let me just look on actual Facebook because for some reason, when I do the live chat through Zoom, sometimes I can't see if there's people actually asking me questions or anything. So if anybody's here, if you have any questions about the webinar or anything, let us know. I see there's a couple people watching on Facebook. If anybody's here, if you have any questions, turn this down. Yeah, okay. So no questions, but if you have questions later, let us know. If you're wondering what else is going to be covered, if we didn't say enough about that, let us know. And I'm excited. And Gabby has her own Medicare Facebook group too. I'll drop the link for that if you guys want to go over and follow her over there because she truly is an expert with Medicare. I know a little bit, but she's like a super expert. So if you need help with Medicare, go join her group. I'll put that link down and we hope to see you at the webinar.
Okay. Yes, can't wait to meet with you guys. It's not going to be scary. I'm going to make it fun and we're going to learn a lot.
Yeah. And then you're going to be set. You're not even gonna have to worry about an audit. Cause I know that is like the number one thing, at least for most of the therapists I talk to. They're like, am I documenting this right? And, I'm billing this. Are they going to check? Is this going to line up with the insurance companies? Because it's that there's different rules for each insurance company. It can get super confusing. So this is like the top of the line way to guarantee it's going to cover all the insurance companies. And that's what I love about this.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yay.
Well, thank you, Gabby. I'm so glad
Thank
to
you
see
for
you.
having me. Can't wait to see you all on the 18th.
Yep. Okay. Bye, everybody.